3519-0145 and in Germany 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106 at live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo and your text messages 365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. Stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. We always need to hear both sides of the story. 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 Yes, both sides of the story. 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 Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Those who celebrate the season is familiar with that little ditty that says, Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please to put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you.
Coming, oh yeah. Christmas is a happy day, yeah. Christmas is the day Christ came, yeah. The very day the angels say, yeah. Then you know the Christmas here, and then, oh yeah. Coming, coming, ooh yeah. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Better get your food and booze ready. Put on the Christmas shoes to rock steady. Find yourself a Christmas friend. Making the Christmas plan, and then, ooh yeah, Christmas coming, oh yeah. Better get the rice and peas, to give me Christmas breeze. You know the Christmas sweet. Then you know the Christmas here, and then, ooh yeah, Christmas coming, coming, ooh yeah, Christmas coming. coming. Oh, yeah. Christmas is a happy day. Yeah. Christmas is the day Christ came. Hey. Where did the angels say? Hey. When you know the Christmas here. And then, oh, Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Let the food and booze ready. We're gonna Christmas shoes to rock steady. Find yourself a Christmas friend, making the Christmas plan, and then, ooh, yeah. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Better get your rice and peas. Give me Christmas breeze. You know the Christmas sweet. Then you know the Christmas here. And then, ooh, yeah. Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming. Oh, Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Christmas is a happy day, yeah. Christmas is the day Christ came, hey. Where did the angels say, hey. When you know the Christmas here, and then, ooh, yeah. Oh, Christmas coming.
Alton Ellis, Christmas Coming. And before that, Christmas is Coming, that well-known traditional carol talking about the meaning and a symbol of Christmas, a time of celebration and goodness. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please to put a penny in the old man's hat. If you haven't got a penny, a halfpenny will do. If you haven't got a halfpenny, then God bless you. For all those who celebrate the season, especially for you, kicking off our series of Christmas content from here on in. After all, it is the 326th day of 2021, which means after today, about 39 days are left in 2021, which would put us at 32 days away from Christmas Day. In terms of our usual observances, though, let's get straight into those right now and remind ourselves that 2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the 22nd day of the 11th and penultimate month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, and the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor. It's also the International Year of Health and Care Workers. Put another way, It's the 22nd day of the 6th month of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season, and the National Meteorological Service here in Jamaica has published its usual bulletin to tell us that there is a cold front entering the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. There's a weak high pressure ridge across the central Gulf of Mexico. The Met Office is also telling us that there's a broad trough across Jamaica and the Central Caribbean. Remember, when you hear trough, think cloudiness, think showers, think thunder showers. The trough will linger across the region. A frontal system is then expected to be west of Jamaica late tomorrow, Tuesday, and then move across on Wednesday. The rest of this afternoon, mainly sunny, partly cloudy though, mainly across hilly inland areas, and tonight, mainly fair. Some of the other observances now. Let's look at the fact that, and remind ourselves that this is Science and Technology Month, Youth Month, Parents Month, Local Government and Rural Development Month, Diabetes Awareness Month, Epilepsy Awareness Month, Drug Abuse Awareness Month, Food Month, Eat Jamaican Month, Alzheimer's Awareness Month, CARICOM Energy Month, Kiwanis Family Month, Lung Cancer Awareness Month. This week is also Pesticides Awareness Week. It's Drug Abuse Awareness Week. And we're sure there's at least, I think this is Police Week as well, and Civil Service Week. A lot of observances this week. And in terms of other observances at home and abroad, it's Bos und Betag, or Repentance Day in Germany and Switzerland. The day of the 1970 invasion is being remembered in Guinea. The Feast of St. Cecilia is being celebrated in St. Lucia. It's Independence Day in Lebanon. Americans are marking the anniversary of John F. Kennedy's assassination in the USA, where it's also they're also observing in the US National Stop the Violence Day. And there are other observances. We'll tell you more in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
Let's face it, these haven't been the best of times, but they aren't the worst of times either. At COK, we recognize that some of our members are finding it challenging navigating the new normal. But that's why we have initiated the COK Debt Amnesty. If you're having difficulties repaying your loans, come in, talk with us, get a waiver of up to 100% of the penalties due. Call 764-1509 or email amnesty@cokcu.com. Conditions apply.
Call up your BFF for Jamaica's biggest shopping event of the year, Black Friday Frenzy, starting Thursday, November 25 to Tuesday, November 30. Shop safe, follow the COVID-19 protocols, shop local, support our island's businesses, shop longer, enjoy 1 week of huge savings, up to 70% off furniture, household items, TVs, jewelry, toys, clothes, shoes, and so much more. Black Friday Frenzy, Thursday, November 25 to Tuesday, November 30. Shop safe, shop local, shop longer. It's presented by the RGR Gleaner Communications Group in partnership with Multilink Jamaica. For details on participating stores, visit bffjamaica.com.
Oh, Christmas coming. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Christmas is a happy day, yeah. Christmas is the day Christ came, hey. The here. And then, oh, Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming, oh yeah.
Hoy es 22 de noviembre 2021 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos. C'est lundi, le 22 novembre 2021. Et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue. All we're saying is it's Monday, the 22nd of November, 2021, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices, and that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story. Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
Making the Christmas play.
As we've indicated, it is Police Week this week, and we are happy to have joining us right now the CEO of the Police Civilian Oversight Authority, Ms. Otara Byfield. Good afternoon, Ms. Byfield. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm good. How are you doing?
I am fine, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Also online, Senior Director, Inspection and Monitoring at the Police Civilian Oversight Authority. He is Andrew Beaumont. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan. It's always good to hear you, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Otara Byfield, for those unfamiliar, for whatever reason, with the Police Civilian Oversight Authority, in a sentence or two, what is the primary purpose of the Police Civilian Oversight Authority?
Okay, so the Police Civilian Oversight Authority was created by the PCOA Act in 2005, and essentially what we are mandated to do is to conduct audit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, just basically to ensure that they're doing what they say they're supposed to be doing. So we look at standard operating procedures and processes to ensure that they're following them.
And Mr. Beaumont, how do you guard against the respective police divisions, police stations, just putting on a show when you are a member or members of your team drop by, whether unexpectedly or or on a scheduled visit? How do you guard against that? How do you know they're actually consistent in how they are carrying out their duties in service to the public?
All right. One of the first things we do, Derval, is that we don't exactly tell them that what period we are going to look for. So we generally look for a 30-day period, and it could be any 30-day period. And so that's one way in which we check to see if they're doing what they're supposed to do. Because one thing you'll know about records in terms of the JCF, you really can't hide it. It's either you do it or you don't do it. Mm-hmm. And so by looking at a random 30-day period, we have a good idea if they're doing what they say they should do.
Yes. And how do you encourage them, Madam CEO Otara Byfield? What kind of encouragement or exercises do you embark on in order to help to motivate and give the respective divisions the drive to not just maintain the standards but seek to exceed them?
Okay, so generally when we do our inspections, what we seek to do is always before we leave a station, give meaningful feedback. And by giving feedback, people get an idea of the areas that they're doing really well in and the areas that they're not doing so well in and need some improvement. So the police officers tend to appreciate that feedback before we leave, right? And also for a specific reason, we're having our award ceremony, which is a way of boosting the morale of our police officers and recognizing those who do hard work, those who are high achievers, those stations and divisions that are performing. And so when we do our area inspection, area accountability inspections, we put it in a competitive environment. So people are wondering, am I going to be on top? Who is going to be the number one? And so by creating that competitiveness, it gives them that encouragement to do well. And I can tell you, even in doing our re-inspection, in going back and looking at the targets that are set, they really want to know that I have improved on the points and the findings that were found in the inspections. So that's a way, by having our award ceremony, that's a way of encouraging our police officers to really do well and to recognize their service, and they really appreciate that. So on Thursday, November 25th, we'll be having our award ceremony where they'll be in a forum where we'll see certain special prizes being awarded for those who really did were high achievers.
And Andrew Beaumont, from your experience with it, doing inspections and monitoring, can you give us an idea of what you're looking for and the basis on which you'll be recognizing and celebrating top station, top division, top customer service division, and top prisoners in custody station?
Okay, Dervan. Just to tell you that for tops, we look at several areas. One is record management. We want to see how the station was maintained in the records. We look at the station administration to see if the stations are being inspected as they should. We look at the station facility. How is it kept? The barracks, is it clean? Are there presence of a sign to indicate that this is a police station? We look at prisoners in custody and how they're kept, the records are kept as they should. And we look at a total of 12 records to come up with looking at these various areas. Now, we are extremely very proud this year to bring in a survey aspect. We also completed a total of 800 surveys, close to 800 surveys in the Area 4 area, just to get a feedback from the citizens of how their station is performing, how do they rate the service that they receive from the police. And so this really brought about the best station, or the best division in terms of customer service.
Mm-hmm. And for you, Ms. Otara Byfield, can you indicate why you would choose, how do you cover the island? Is it just one particular area, in this case, Area 4, and what determines which areas are assessed and otherwise certified as being top achievers?
Okay, so it's really done by area. It's an annual program, so it's done by area. The JCF has 5 areas. We would have done 2 areas previously, having started in 2019. So this year we chose Area 4. There are a number of considerations, of course, resources. We also look at historical information, what is happening in the current environment. You'll see what is happening in Area 4 as it relates to crime, etc.
Yes.
We look at proximity. As I said, we have to take resources into consideration. We look at the demand as well, because sometimes a division or area commander or our officers may ask us to intervene and do inspection. So there are a number of considerations that were taken into when we decided on Area 4.
And who is it? Will the presentation of the Transforming Our Police Service TOPS competition, the awards ceremony, will that be open to the public in the virtual space, or is it just a select group who would be able to watch to see if their police station or police division is TOPS?
Absolutely open to the entire Jamaica and the world. It will be streamed live on the JCF platform. That's their Facebook platform, and their YouTube channel, Jamaica Constabulary Force. So anybody is able to access and view the competition, which will be, as I said, Thursday, not the competition, sorry, my apologies, the award ceremony,
yes.
Thursday, November 25th at 10 a.m. So once you log on to the JCF Facebook page or their YouTube channel, you'll be able to see everything live streaming.
And finally, in the interest of time, because we're just about out of time, can you tell us, Mr. Beaumont, how people can learn more about the work of the Police Civilian Oversight Authority?
Okay, Dervan, you can find us on Facebook as well as the YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel, Police Civilian Oversight Authority YouTube channel. And also you can find us on the Ministry of National Security. Those are some areas in which you can find us.
Great.
Instagram as well. We're also on
Instagram as well.
Yes, I hear that's the one for the young people. That's Facebook is now for us old people,
Yeah,
so to speak.
absolutely.
Well, look, we want to talk to you again. I don't know. Let's see how you are for the rest of this week, because we want to always play our part as far as public awareness and public education are concerned. And since this is Police Week, it wouldn't hurt to get in another bit on this subject of the work of the Police Civilian Oversight Authority. So we'll talk about that off air. In the meantime, thanks a lot, and we wish you a successful ceremony on Thursday.
Thank you very much for having us.
It's been a pleasure. Take care. Listening there to the CEO of the Police Civilian Oversight Authority, Ms. Otara Byfield, and Mr. Andrew Beaumont, who is the Senior Director, Inspection and Monitoring.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:31 on Power 106.
The Scientific Research Council invites you to nominate Jamaican female scientists and technologists as they showcase their scientific achievements and contribution to Jamaica's development in the S&T Extraordinaires JA docuseries and publication. Visit their website, src.gov.jm. Click on the flyer, then complete the nomination form. Nominations close on Friday, November 30 at 11:59 p.m. SRC's Extraordinaires, celebrating success, inspiring our future.
This Black Friday, Town City and Home Center has all the best deals for your home and more. Don't miss incredible savings of up to 70% off tiles, faucets, home decor, and more to get your home ready for the holidays. Plus, up to 60% off premium brands like Kohler, Big Fans, and Porcelanosa. Shop and save all week, November 22 to 27 in store or online at tilecityja.com and enjoy lots of prizes and surprises. Tile City and Home Center, your dream home starts here.
The craziest sale of the year is now on at ENR Hardware from November 22 to 27. Enjoy extra special discount on BH flat emulsion paint on the gallon until December 31. Make no mistake, ENR Hardware is your place to shop for the best prices, friendliest professional service, and comfortable shopping. ENR Hardware, Lot 16 to 17, Portmore Town Center, 876-988-7485-6. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskell from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskell on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
It's a Monday afternoon, just after 2:30, and that means time for Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with a sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Anything at all to do with a sale or purchase of land. You can also get in touch with the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company. They have a website, landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6, upstairs, the JN building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne, and you're encouraged to call ahead instead of just turning up. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. They also have a number for their Ocho Rios office, 876-974-6083. And on a Thursday, a lawyer is on duty every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Ocho Rios office. In a moment, let's say good afternoon and welcome to attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to Land Solutions. Please remember the numbers to call 922-4112 to 5, 922-4112 to 5, and you can send me a text message or a WhatsApp message at 876-387-3183, 387 for the text number. And I'll be in Ocho Rios this Thursday, so I'm going to invite persons to give me a call so we can make appointments for Thursday in Ocho Rios. And it's good to be there from maybe about 11 o'clock to about 1 o'clock. That's a good time to be there, 11 to 1. I know even though I say that, many of my listeners usually will tell me that they have been here from much earlier. But that's a good time to 224-112-5. And now it's a good time in the pandemic to remind my listeners, many of whom are older persons. Okay, I know many are, you have been dissuaded from taking the vaccine, but I'm still encouraging you to look at the vaccine as one way of protecting yourself. Because especially now with the children going back out to school, the possibility is that some of these children are going to carry home the illnesses to some of the older relatives. So I'm asking the older relatives to consider taking the vaccine, just because, even think of it this way. Your child might go out and take home the vaccine, and that child, and you might die from it, and take home the virus, and then you might die from the illness. And those children are going to feel guilty for life, to wonder if they caused your death. So protect yourself, please. Regardless of what person's telling us, we really, really need to stop, because we never use these vaccines before without even, sometimes we just go to school and come home to tell our parents who got vaccinated today. The lady and the nurse in the brown uniform came and everybody got a vaccine. So please stop listening to these many things persons are telling you. The Ministry of Health is showing that 90% of the persons in hospitals have not had even one vaccine. So there must be something to the science. Let us not listen to these persons about science and telling you all kind of things. Okay, it is showing the world that people who are vaccinated are better protected. Numbers to call 9224112 to 5. And the text line for the WhatsApp message or the text message 387-3183. A text message. I've been asked to get 2 persons to sign up documents for me to get a title. Who can I use? Are there any do's or don'ts about? So when you're trying to get a title for the first time, you have to do a declaration. You have to get 2 declarations from 2 persons who have known the land for 30 years. These persons should be over 50. It is good because they should have known the land for at least 18 years. So, and they should have known the land from they were 18 years. They should have known it for at least 30 years.
A bit of a bump in the road there. We're connecting and reconnecting with the host of Land Solutions this afternoon, attorney at law Gloria Brown. The technology not cooperating. We're trying again to fine-tune the connection to ensure that we can continue with today's edition of Land Solutions. So any moment now, we're going to head back over to attorney at law Gloria Brown to continue this afternoon's edition of Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Once again, here's attorney at law Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. My apologies to listeners. I'm up in what we call my born ground. I'm in Sagoville, so broadcasting from there, so maybe a little bit of a challenge. Yes, so the person was asking for some do's and don'ts in terms of getting the declarants when you're trying to get a title. And I'm saying you need 2 persons who are over 48 at least to sign documents for you. The persons don't need to prepare any documentation. They just need to provide name, age, address, occupation, and the attorney will prepare what they are to sign. So you have to give the attorney the history of the land so they can prepare the declarations for these persons. And remember, these persons must have known the land for at least 30 years. They can be relatives, but usually I prefer if they are not related to the person who is applying for the title. Personally, I prefer that because you would like to get independent persons. Of course, don't use the person you bought the land from. Use the person who is applying for the title. Your neighbors are good persons to use, persons in the community, but they don't have to live in the community. So, for example, I might live in Kingston, but I'm from Sligoville, and my neighbor is applying for a title. And I go to Sligoville every now and then. I know that the neighbor is the owner. I'll be a good declarant, even though my address is not Sligoville. So persons in the community who have known the land, who can speak to it, and they have to speak to the history. So the lawyer will prepare a document to say, for example, when the declarant will say, when I first knew the land was owned by John Brown, who exercised ownership until John Brown died in 98, and his daughter Gloria took possession, and then she sold it to Mary in such and such a time. So the lawyer will prepare something like that, and the declarant should read the declaration before signing it. Just don't sign it blindly. Read it and make sure say yes, what it is saying is something that if you go to court, you can stand up in court and say yes, that is true. I knew Mr. Brown as the owner. When Mr. Brown died, I remember when his daughter took over. So make sure that you read what you are saying, what you are signing to. If a declarant cannot read or write, that does not preclude the person. The person can still do the declaration, but the person is going to make an X mark. And somebody should read the declaration to the person. Somebody you trust, somebody you have confidence in, should read the declaration to you before you go ahead and sign. So, as I said, person should be over 48. Person should have known the land for 30 years. And person should really know the history of the land and make sure that what is being written is something that you can really verify and say, yes, I know that to be the case. And you need 2 declarants, not 3. So the person applying for the title is going to do a declaration, and the 2 persons who are the supporting declarants. Even though the supporting declarants have to know the land for 30 years, the person who is applying for the title does not have to know the land for 30 years. Maybe you just bought that, you just went into the community, saw the piece of land and you just bought it. Maybe you have just known the land for less than a year. That does not stop you from making the application. You're still going to have to do a declaration to trace the land for 30 years. But you are going to say, I have been informed that John Brown was the owner. Or to the best of my knowledge and belief, John Brown was the owner. You don't have to have the 30-year knowledge, but the 2 persons who are supporting you should have that kind of knowledge. And the lawyer will prepare those documents for all of you to sign, and will send other documentation like evidence to show that you bought the land or how you got the land and apply for the title. And remember that now, in this pandemic era, the titles are taking a little longer. So what usually take 8 months to a year, we're running into 2 years and more now since the pandemic, having serious challenges in terms of getting the document. Even when the application is approved, we're having challenges just getting the advertisements out of the titles office. So I'm encouraging persons with land, don't just sit down and wait until you have a little bit of a challenge, because that is what is happening. A lot of persons say, I went to pay the tax last week and somebody has paid it, so Miss Brown, I need a title right now. I'm encouraging all the persons with land, go ahead, survey your property. Now, when you come in with a diagram, remember, even after 7 years, the diagram will expire. But when you have an old diagram, it is good enough, it is good evidence to show that you are the owner. If you can show, I surveyed the land 20 years ago, when you send that old diagrams to the titles office, that is very, very good supporting documentation to support your claim to ownership. And I'm encouraging persons, don't throw away your old documents until you have a title. So don't throw away the old light bill, because when you come in and you can show me a light bill that is 12 years old, or old water receipts, or old tax papers, or old documents when you bought the land, all of those will be very, very helpful. This is Land Solution.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45. The Scientific Research Council invites you to nominate Jamaican female scientists and technologists as they showcase their scientific achievements and contribution to Jamaica's development in the S&T Extraordinaires JA docuseries and publication. Visit their website src.gov.jm. Click on the flyer, then complete the nomination form. Nominations close on Friday, November 30 at 11:59 p.m. SRC's Extraordinaires, celebrating success, inspiring our future. Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskett from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Buying illegal imported mosquito coils can pose significant health risks due to the harmful gases released by burning coil. All brands of mosquito coils registered for sale in Jamaica by the Pesticide Control Authority have been assessed and should not adversely affect the user and the environment if used according to the label. Visit the PCA's website at www.carpesticides.net for a list of registered pesticides. A message from the Pesticide Control Authority, an agency of the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112-5. That's 876-922-4112-5. The text line for Land Solutions is 876-387-3183. 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com. Landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. Gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. You're encouraged to call ahead instead of turning up. Call ahead and you'll be advised accordingly. The numbers to call: 876-908-1950. That's 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. You can also call their Ocho Rios office directly, 876-974-6083, 876-974-6083. And a lawyer is always on duty anytime between 10 or 11 and 1 in the afternoon on a Thursday. Between 10, 11, and 1 on a Thursday. Once again, here is attorney at law, Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan.
Oh, we have a caller for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
No, sorry. Maybe that caller got tired of holding. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Please remember the numbers to call: 922-411-225. I'm sorry, 922-411-325. And the text line or the WhatsApp number: 387-3183. 387-3183. That's the WhatsApp number or the text line. And I'll be in Ocho Rios this Thursday between, as Dervan said, between 10, let's say between 11 and 1. That's a good time to be there because usually we have persons there before and we usually try to reach early, but sometimes when we're going to like to do some housekeeping business before. So if you come between 11 and 1, that should be very good. And please remember, it's on the JN Building in the heart of Ocho Rios in St. Anne. But our main office is in Winchester Business Center, Shop 39, 15 Hope Road in Halfway Tree. And we really prefer if you call to make an appointment so we can tell you what we need you to take with you when you're coming, so you don't have to waste that trip, because sometimes persons come from far away parishes and then you come and it's a waste of time because you could have sent us a document before, we could have prepared your documents before you come, or we could have told you what we want you to come in with. So it's always good when you can call us in office, and the office number is 908-1950 or 908-3518. It's good if you can call us before coming in. Numbers to call: 922-411-325. A text message. Can I put the name of my 5 children on my title? Is it a good idea to put them on it? That's really a decision for you as a parent to make. But we need to know our children. You have 5 children you want to put on. You can put them on, no problem, because you can put 1,000,000 people on your title. There's no limit. If we run out of paper, we'll send to get more. But there's no limit to the number. Any number of persons, 100 people can go on a title, 1,000 can go on one title. There's no limit. But you want to put your 5 children on the title, you need to really, make a serious, give some serious thought to it. Because sometimes we know that Peter and John don't get on. So we know that that's going to be a problem later in life when we put them on the title, because nothing can be done in relation to that property. But maybe you don't want them to be able to do anything to it anyway. You don't want them to be able to sell it or borrow money on it, which is why you put them on. But if you decide to put your children on the title, no problem. Take to your attorney, copy of the title, property tax receipt, name, address, occupation, TRN of all the children. Name, address, occupation, TRN of the children. And remember, even if your children have never been to Jamaica, they live abroad, they have never visited Jamaica, they have to have a TRN to have their names added to a title or removed from a title. So a lot of times we get a pushback from persons to say, but I don't live in Jamaica, why do I need a TRN? And that is our unique identifier that we have for now. So just like go to get a job in America, I need a social security number. To do business in Jamaica, you need this TRN, the taxpayer registration number. And it's not a difficult number to get. We get them for persons all the time. What we usually do, we usually send a letter of consent to our clients for them to sign to give permission for us to get the TRN. We send them the completed TRN form. And we ask them to sign the form, sign the letter, and also and get them notarized. But like when the form is notarized, even though there's no space on it for the notary to sign, but you can find a little space. Let them sign the letter of consent for us to pick up the TRN. Let them sign the TRN form and also get the notary to certify their photo ID, that's the driver's license or the passport. But the one thing that you need to make sure of is that the signature on the ID must be the same signature you put on the consent letter and the same signature you put on the TRN form. If there's a variation in signature, so you write Gloria Brown on the TRN form, but the ID has G Brown, we're not going to get the TRN. All the signatures must be the same. Sometimes though, if the signatures vary and the notary notarizes the TRN form, even though there's no space on it to be notarized, the tax office might accept the application even though the signatures vary. But as best as possible, try to have the same signature on all 3 documents, the consent letter, the TRN form, and the photo ID. And then we'll be able to pick up that TRN for you. So it's not that difficult. It's one of the easy things to get in Jamaica. But everybody should. And if you visit Jamaica anytime, just walk into a tax office with your driver's license or your passport. If you are paying a visit to Jamaica, walk out of the tax office with the TRN. And please try to put the number at a place where you can find it, because so many of my clients, when I call them, they will say, oh yes, I have a TRN. I got one years ago before I left Jamaica, but I don't know where to find it. So sometimes it puts us through a little bit of a challenge to get a copy of it. So I want to encourage my listeners to make sure you put your TRN, your taxpayer registration number, or your TRN, put it somewhere where you'll be able to retrieve it, or store the number somewhere where you'll be able to find it. So when you need it to do business, you don't have that serious challenge. Remember the number to call 922-411-325, 876-922-411-325. And you can also send me a WhatsApp message on 387-3183 or a text message 387-3183. Or send me an email, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. gloria@landsolutionsja.com. So the person who wants to put on your 5 children, yes, you can put them on. And I encourage the persons who are putting on people on their title as parents putting on children. I say it on this program every week. Take a life interest. So let the title say to you for life and after death to the children, and the lawyer will prepare a document for the children to sign. We call it a disclaimer, to say that while you are alive, you are free to do whatever you want. Even though the life tenant is free to sell and to mortgage, The document will say if you sell the property, the money is yours and not for the children. If you borrow money on it, the proceeds are yours, not for the children. They will only have an interest when you die. So you want to sell the property even though you have added their name because you are the life tenant. You don't need to ask their permission. You can just go ahead and sell the property. So those are some of the little things. So the title will say to you for life and after death to the children. You have to decide whether the 5 children are going to be joint tenants or tenants in common. Joint tenants means that whoever lives the longest is going to own it out of the 5 of them. Tenants in common mean that each of them will have a share that they can will to their children. And more we are getting this whole question about wills and joint tenancy. So persons will come and say, my mother and father owned a property, they were joint tenants. My father willed the property to somebody, and then he died, and my mother alone was alive, and now my mother has died. Okay, but father willed it to one child, mother died and never made a will after, who should get it? All of mother's children will get it, whether they belong to the father or not. Because mother and father were joint tenants. When father died, even though he made a will, his will not count. His will is of no use because in relation to that property. Because the mother was the surviving joint tenant, so she's the owner of the property. She owns the property now. So when father died, mother owned the property. So whoever, and mother did not make a will, so the property is going to go to, and mother did not remarry, so the property is going to go to all of mother's children, even those that she never had for the father. All of mother's children will now get the property, because when people are joint tenants, the one who lives the longer or the longest is going to own it. So this person who is adding the 5 children, you have to decide if you want each child to be able to leave their share to whoever they want to, which would make them tenants in common, or you want whichever one of the children to live the longest to be able to get it. And a lot of times person will say to me, which one is better, the joint tenants or the tenants in common? Well, it depends on your situation. It depends on your situation. But the thing is, most times I lean towards tenants in common. Because I'm saying if 2 persons are tenants in common, if I want to leave my share to you, I will it to you. I don't have that option when we are joint tenants. So personally, a lot of times I would opt for persons to be tenants in common, so persons can will their share. So John and Mary are buying property, they are just tenants in common. John can will his share to Mary to say if I die, Mary should get my share. Mary can do the same thing. When you are joint tenants, whoever lives the longest, that's the only will that is going to count. So those are some things to consider. So it's not just to say add the children. You have to consider you need a life interest. You have to consider whether the children should be joint tenants or tenants in common. And when they are tenants in common, you don't have to have the equal share. So John and Mary could be tenants in common. John could have 3/5, Mary 2/5. John could have 4/5, Mary 1/5. John could have a quarter, Mary 3/4. When you are tenants in common, it's flexible. Suppose you are saying both of us bought the property, but I put most of the money. Then I want a bigger share. When we are joint tenants, we don't have that option. Because joint tenants just mean really 2 of you equally. When you are tenants in common, no, I can have a bigger share if I contribute, suppose if I contributed more. So those are some of the things that you need to look at and sit down and discuss with your attorney when you're trying to make a decision whether or not to add your children to your type. You might say one child is better off than the other, so let me give that child a bigger share. While the other one will struggling a little more, the one who is better off, you might say, let me give that one a smaller share. Or you might say, this child is a better child, has treated me better. This one is the one who has stayed at home and looked after me. Maybe I should give this one a little more than the others. And get your lawyer to help you to work the percentages or the fractions. You might say, the one who has looked after me, I want to give that one a half, and then the other 4 children will share the other half. Those are options you can look at. You can be flexible when it comes to persons being tenants in common. This is Land Solutions.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. The Scientific Research Council invites you to nominate Jamaican female scientists and technologists as they showcase their scientific achievements and contribution to Jamaica's development in the S&T Extraordinaires JA docuseries and publication. Visit their website src.gov.jm. Click on the flyer, then complete the nomination form. Nominations close on Friday, November 30 at 11:59 p.m. SRC's Extraordinaires, celebrating success, inspiring our future.
The craziest sale of the year is now on at ENR Hardware from November 22 to 27. Enjoy extra special discount on BH flat emulsion paint on the gallon until December 31. Make no mistake, ENR Hardware is your place to shop for the best prices, friendliest professional service, and comfortable shopping. ENR Hardware, Lot 16 to 17, Portmore Town Center, 876-988-7485-6. Hurry, hurry, hurry!
Black Friday Mega Madness. Black Friday Mega Madness. Black Friday Mega Madness.
We have never had a sale this big. Get ready, Jamaica. This one is massive. November 29th to December 1. It's the Black Friday Mega Madness weekend at Home and Things. Every single item in store is 30 to 80% off this Friday only. And catch the Saturday and Sunday specials too. The Black Friday Mega Madness weekend is on at Home and Things, Old Oak Road and Constant Spring Road. It's a Mega Madness weekend.
The following is a public service announcement from Power 106 FM. Jamaica. Each wave of the COVID-19 pandemic with the added danger of variants has brought unprecedented pressure on public resources. Our hospitals and healthcare workers at breaking point. Our economy battered, families in mourning, and our children face an uncertain future due to learning loss. In this race against COVID-19, we must stay in it to win it. We must continue using techniques that can help to beat the virus. Follow COVID-19 mitigation measures, including wearing masks, sanitizing, 6 feet of physical distance from others. And on this leg of our relay, we can win with vaccination. These safe and proven vaccines can make the difference against COVID-19. And now that vaccines are in supply, let's get vaccinated so we can get back on track and keep winning. The finish line against COVID-19 is in sight, and with true Jamaican determination, we can all have the victory. Brought to you by your friends at Power 106 FM.
So we ain't giving up now. We put up a fight. We got to be ready. The stock's getting traded. Just said, don't you worry.
You're listening to Land Solutions during both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Land Solutions, the program where all your land-related matters are dealt with. Anything at all to do with the sale or purchase of land, you've come to the right place. Here are the numbers to call: 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com. Gloria@landsolutionsja.com. The website is landsolutionsja.com. Landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findlay and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road and Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office upstairs, the JN Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. That's Shop 6 to be precise. And a lawyer is usually on the spot and available every Thursday between 10, 11 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And you're invited to call ahead in order to make whatever, just to ensure that you, if there are particular documents that you need to take along with you or information that would perhaps even negate your having to visit the office. That's the benefit of calling ahead. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findlay and Company, 876-908-1950. That's 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. 876-908-3518. And if you wish to call the Ocho Rios office directly, their number is 876-974-6083. 876-974-6083. Once again, here's attorney at law Gloria Brown, and we have a caller for you, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Brown.
Yes, sir.
Hello. My history is my father died to parcels of land quite some time now. I am aware of, well, I am the one who used to pay the taxes for both properties. However, over a period of time, I have stopped paying the taxes. I receive a tax notice from the collectorate. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. I received the notice, and when I went to pay the taxes, I realized that I got a receipt for one piece of the property. I went into the office and made an inquiry, and they told me that they have seen only one property on the system. Can you advise me as to how I can go about getting back the other type, the other tax receipt?
What about the tax paper for those others that you used to pay? What about the old tax papers?
Like I said, I stopped paying the taxes for a while, and the receipt for both of them disappeared. I am not able to locate them.
Well, what you probably need to do is to
Hello?
you probably need to go into Landval at 8 RD to try and find back the numbers.
Okay, that's Landval.
So ask the neighbors to the land if they could just tell you what their tax numbers are. Even one neighbor, because that would help you to find it easily online.
Oh.
Because the tax office will be able to do all that work to find it for you, and they would undertake that. So don't panic yet, but just ask the neighbors for theirs, and then anybody could help you to find your number online.
Okay.
All right. If that doesn't work, go up to Landval and give them. They will help you to search at 8 Arden Road.
I'm not hearing too clear. I'm sorry.
Sorry, 8 Arden Road at Landval. Arden Road, Landval.
Caller, good afternoon. It's 8 Arden Road, land valuation, Landval. 8 Arden Road. That's the address.
Thank you very much, Carter.
Thank you, Dervan. The number to call 2411225. A text message. My mother died last year, September, and left the house for my brother. Should my brother be the one to look about the will, or can I do it on his behalf? How long will it take for you to pay the estate taxes at the tax office? You can, I'm not sure who is the executor on the will, because the executor is the one with the responsibility to do the probate, not the beneficiary, your brother, but the executor. So I'm not sure if your brother is also the executor. But even if your brother is the executor, your brother could ask you to deal with it. You could get the lawyer to prepare the papers to send abroad for the brother to sign, or the brother could give you a power of attorney to apply for him. You won't be able to pay the estate duties until you have got the probate. After you have got the probate, the lawyer has to apply for something called an estate TRN. You have to get a TRN for the person who died. Not the one they had when they were alive. You have to get a dead one now. We call it an estate TRN. And when you have that, then you go into, then the lawyer will send the documents to the stamp office for them to assess the estate duties. And the estate duties are now 1.5%. And a year after the death, you start paying interest of 6% on the estate duties. But don't panic, because estate duties are waived for most parishes. Only parts of Kingston and St. Andrew and Portmore, you have to pay full estate duties. The other parishes' estate duties are waived. So you just pay a flat rate, which is most times not significant. So don't panic about the estate duties. The persons who witness the will are dead. What must we do? If the witnesses are dead, because usually you need the witnesses to do an affidavit of handwriting or an affidavit of due execution to say yes, they saw the person execute the will. If they are dead, you could see if anybody else was there who could do that, or somebody, if the person who made the will signed their name, somebody who is aware of the person's signature could say what we call an affidavit of handwriting, to say, yes, I knew John Brown, and that is how he used to write. I knew his writing because he used to write regular letters to me, or he used to sign receipts for me, anything, to show how they became acquainted with the signature of the dead person. So don't panic because the person has died. The witnesses have died. You can get persons who have known, who knew the handwriting of the testator to deal with that for you. Also, a text message, mother died and left a car but did not sign the title for the car, but we have a lawyer looking about the will. Can I get a letter from the lawyer to pay the car insurance? Yes. And that's something we do all the time. We write to the insurance company to say, yes, we're applying for the grant of probate. This is the proof that is lodged in court. Could you allow John Brown to insure the vehicle for another 12 months? And hopefully in that period you will get the probate so you can get to do it. But usually that is done. Usually that can be done, and usually we don't have a challenge in getting that done. Remember the text line, 387-3183. You can also send a WhatsApp message to that number, 876-387-3183. Do I have to go to a lawyer to make a will? No, you don't have to go to a lawyer to make a will. You can make one yourself. But it's always good when you have some guidance from your attorney. But you can buy a will form and make a will. People are writing their own wills every day because, especially if it's not a complicated matter. If it's not complex, then you can write the will yourself by a will form, which is usually user friendly. But if it's complex, you have a lot of beneficiaries, you have a lot of assets, it might be best to get a lawyer. And sometimes if you have written the will, you have a legal aid clinic at the Bethel Baptist Church in Halfway Tree every Saturday morning at 10. Or just get a lawyer to look it over for you to make sure everything is in order. But it's very, very important that you make sure that it's properly signed, because a text message after this is saying my grandfather's will was signed by him and a JP, but by no one else. Is it a will? Is it valid? No, it's not valid. It's not a will. If it's not signed by two persons who are present at the same time, it's not a will. So you write your wills yourself, there are certain things you need to know. When the will is being witnessed, three persons must be there. You, the testator, the one writing the will, and two witnesses. All three of you must be there at the same time. You can't write the will today and ask me to sign it today and ask Dervan to sign it tomorrow. It's not going to be valid. Dervan and I must be there at the same time. So when you come to me and I see that John Brown witnessed the will and Mary Brown, and John Brown said, I don't know Mary Brown, then that's a problem. Because that means they were not present at the same time. And that would invalidate the will. So when you have written your will, and yes, you have written it and everything is in order, make sure that when you sign it, you sign it in the presence of two or more witnesses. Can be less than two, can be more than two. And remember, the JP does not need to witness the will. And I'm begging the JPs, do not put your seals on the wills. The wills don't need any stamp, or they don't need any seals. I see where after the wills are properly executed, JP go in the middle of the will and writing and stamping and sealing. You don't need a JP to sign a will. And if I'm a JP and I'm signing the will, I'm not going to put Gloria Brown JP. JP is not an occupation. I'm going to put Gloria Brown teacher, Gloria Brown attorney, Gloria Brown farmer. Put your occupation, because we're going to need your occupation. We are doing the attesting witness, and JP is not an occupation. And usually I tell the person, don't use the JP to witness the will, because when we're ready to probate, we're going to need them to sign out the papers. And if the JP is one of the witnesses, he can't help you to execute the documents later on. So these are some of the things that we need to take into consideration. But I'm begging the JP, don't put your seal there. When you put the seal on the will, we have to explain to the court why is it that this seal is on this will, why that this seal is in the middle of the people's documents. Explain to him that the JP did not intend to interfere with the will, or when he signed it there. So begging, you don't need a JP seal on a will. If you're witnessing somebody's will and you're a JP, you can put Gloria Brown JP, but put your occupation, teacher, social worker, farmer, nurse. But it's best if you don't put the seal on it though, because sometimes the seal might conceal something, okay? No pun intended. Or, person might wonder if you were interfering in the will when you put the seal and you can't read the part you have put your stamp on it. So we don't need any JP seal on the documents. And remember, you can write your will yourself, but it must be signed in the presence of two or more witnesses. This is
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15. Our family and friends are a big part of who we are. And when it comes to keeping you connected to them, Grace Kennedy Money Services Western Union makes it safer and easier. Now friends and family overseas can use the Western Union app or westernunion.com to send money directly to your bank account without leaving home. Receive a Western Union money transfer directly into your bank account with a direct-to-bank service. Register online at gkmsonline.com and share your banking details with your sender so you don't have to leave home to collect.
It's the final segment of Land Solutions for today. Get in those questions now. Anything you're unclear about, Now would be a good time before today's edition of Land Solution ends. In the meantime, here are the numbers: 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. The Land Solutions text line is 876-387-3183, 876-387-3183. The website is landsolutionsja.com, landsolutionsja.com. The email address is gloria@landsolutionsja.com, gloria@landsolutionsja.com. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/landsolutionsja, facebook.com/landsolutionsja. The law firm Brown, Findley and Company is headquartered in Suite 39 of the Winchester Business Center, corner of Winchester Road and Hope Road in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. They also have an office at Shop 6 upstairs, the JN Building in Ocho Rios, St. Anne. They encourage you to call ahead instead of turning up. The numbers to call the law firm Brown, Findley and Company, 876-908-1950 or 876-908-3518. If you wish to call the Ocho Rios office directly, that number is 876-974-6083, 876-974-6083, and you can expect to be served by a lawyer in a good way. Served, that has other meanings in law, but a lawyer will be on duty to serve you as a client every Thursday, between 10, 11, and 1 p.m. every Thursday. Once again, here's attorney at law Gloria Brown.
Thank you, Dervan. As Dervan just told you, I've been Ocherios this Thursday between near 10 to 1 is a good time to be there. But I prefer if you come a little later, because sometimes when you go in at 10, too many persons there, we have to observe the social distancing. And I still want to encourage my listeners. I spoke to a lady last week and begged her to take the vaccine. I was so pleased when I saw her on the weekend. She told me she had gone and she had done it. Because I was saying to her, you have worked so hard to put up this beautiful house, I would hate for you not to be able to enjoy it. And so many of you have worked so hard, and persons telling you all kind of things that this vaccine is going to do you. Children, I've said to some of my listeners, some of the persons, since you are so afraid, why not take the new vaccine, then the one that we got that the children taking? Because 5-year-olds in America taking it, 5-year-old. So why don't you, somebody over 60, over 70, over 80, why don't you try to take that one? But take something, because the reality is, even though the numbers are going down, we are still hearing 12 or 20 or so persons dying from the vaccine. And as someone was saying, I read something last week that the number of persons who have died in America this year is unbelievable from COVID, even though we're not getting the numbers like we used to get them last year. So this disease is still with us. Our numbers are going down, but we are getting 11 or so persons dying. That's a lot of persons, a small country, listeners. So older persons, as I said, maybe many of you never heard when I started the program. The children are going back to school now. Some of them are going to come home with the illness. They're going to come home with the virus, and the reality is that some of our relatives, they're going to bring home the disease and kill some of the unvaccinated relatives. You don't want to put that on their conscience. For them to say, hey, I caused grandma's death, I caused mom's death, I caused auntie's death. You don't want that on them. I beg of you. All the science is showing that the only thing that seems to be protecting persons is the vaccine. I'm begging you, for the children's sake, so they don't have a lot of them having enough mental challenges now from not being able to go out and socialize. We don't want to put that on the head now for them to be looking about the death of a parent and wonder if they caused it. I'm begging my older relatives. Vaccines are available all over now. The person saying, we have heard of nearly 3,000 Jamaicans have died from this illness in a small country like this. And you might say, but I hear that people get sick from the vaccine. Very few. And why would be watching the 1 or 2 get sick from the vaccine and not watching the nearly 3,000 who have died? We need to really, really start thinking a little bit more rationally, as Jamaicans. And I'm begging I know this is not maybe the right the right channel, but I think I have a social responsibility to encourage my listeners to take the vaccines, especially because the children are going out now, and many of you need to be going out as well, back to church, etc. So I'm encouraging my listeners. The number to call 922-411-325, and the text line 387-3183. You can also send a WhatsApp message, a text message. I'm about to sell a property. I'm told by my lawyer that the bank I borrowed money from has a caveat on the title. I paid off the loan years ago. What can I do? You could approach the bank and ask them to withdraw the caveat. But in the meantime, I would advise your attorney to lodge the documents in the title office. I guess maybe that's when the attorney has lodged it and found about the caveat, and lodge a warning to the caveat as well. Because sometimes some of these are older banks that change in name and all different things. So what I would advise you to do is to ask your lawyer to warn the caveat, and in the meantime you could go to the bank as well and get the withdrawal. But sometimes that takes a little while, especially in this COVID time. But I would do both. I would warn the caveat, and while I'm warning the caveat, I would also be asking the bank for the withdrawal of the caveat. Because sometimes in former times, banks would just lodge a caveat instead of putting on the mortgage on the title, and know that you need to deal with your property. The caveat is there, and it's going to impede you, because the caveat is going to block you from selling the property or from borrowing money from another institution. So it's not something to panic about. It's just something to just deal with as you have to. My father died and left a will. The lawyer he used died years ago, and we can only find a copy of the will. What can we do? First, you could ask the General Legal Counsel, which is that's the organization that is in charge of attorneys. You could ask them who is the person who has taken over that lawyer's practice. These days, if there's no attorney to take over the lawyer's practice, then the General Legal Counsel will take over that practice. You could ask the General Legal Counsel who has taken over the files of that attorney, and you could check with that person to see if they have the original will. If you can't locate the original will, you could ask your attorney to apply to the court for an order to prove the copy of the will. So you apply to the court, and the court will give permission, all things being equal, for the photocopy to be used as an original. Of course, that's an extra expense, which is why I want you to try first to see if you can find which lawyer has taken over the practice of the attorney who died, and to see if you could get to the original will. If not, then ask your lawyer to ask the court to prove the copy of the will. The court will give an order to say, yes, this copy can be treated as an original, and then they go towards probating the copy. But of course, that's extra cost, because the Supreme Court you have to go to prove the copy will, and then you have to go through the process of probate again. That's additional expense. My mother leased a piece of land from a gentleman for over 15 years. The gentleman died, and his daughter says we are to pay her the lease. Please tell us what to do. It's not a good idea to pay the daughter the lease money. She needs to go and apply for a grant of administration or probate in the estate of her father. Because when you pay this daughter, another child could come to you for the lease, and another child, suppose the man had 10 children, the others could sue you for their share of the lease, because you have no right to give it to one. And you might say, oh, but I know all of them and all of them agree, but what about the one you don't know about? Or what about when you find out that the gentleman left a will and willed it to a nephew? The nephew will be the one entitled to the lease. So this is just not just for you, but for children or for persons who feel that because somebody has died, they can just take over the lease. That it doesn't work like that. You have to go and administer the estate of the person who died, and then you have the right to collect the lease. So it's not a good idea to just pay a daughter the lease. It doesn't really work like that. Who is a spouse? Mm-hmm. A spouse is your husband or your wife. Or a spouse is a single man living with a single woman 5 years immediately before death. So if you are single, you're a man, you're single, and you're living with a lady and she's single as well, and you have been living 5 years together, that person is your spouse. So that person has the equal rights as if you are married. So that person has the same rights as if the person were married to you. which is a common law relationship. But if you are married to somebody else and you separate from them, but you're not divorced, you're living with a lady, that lady can't be your spouse and you can't be her spouse. You must be single, and the other person must be single. And remember that being separated from a person doesn't make you single. You have to be divorced, or if the person has died. So if your spouse has died, then you are single. If you haven't remarried. So if you're living with somebody who is a widow or a widow, then that person is single. So the spouse is your husband or your wife, or the spouse is a single man living with a single woman for 5 years before death. What is family land? Well, family land is family land. A lot of the land in Jamaica is family land. So, for example, let me give you a good example of family land. Your grandfather died, and he had 10 children. 5 of them have died leaving children, and 5 are alive. And the grandfather had land. That is family land, because it belongs to the 5 who are alive, and it belongs to the children of the 5 who are dead. So a lot of times you might see, after grandfather, sometimes you see grandfather had 10 children, 9 have died, and 1 is alive, and that one sees the A and the last one alive, so the land is 9. No. The 9 who have died, their children must get their share. You see, it becomes family land because you might find that it's about 50 people own it. When my grandfather died, there were 50 odd grandchildren. So you can imagine now with my grandfather's land, how many of us own it now with the great-grands and the great-great-grands. That's family land. You might check it out and find it's owned by about 200 and all of us. Which is why we encourage persons to make the wills. So decide, I'm going to will it to 2 children or 3 children or so, and make the wills, because family land, tying up land and becoming a nightmare. And while I'm at that, there's something I always encourage people, don't build on family land. I always say to my clients, when you build on family land, you're building family house. Because title is for land, so whatever is on the land is going to be owned by all the family. So don't build on family land. Don't build on land if you don't have a title with your name on it. Because we see why we have a lot of the challenges we have now. So I'm encouraging my listeners this afternoon as usual. First thing, in this new dispensation, I'm saying to my listeners, take the vaccine. Go and take. There's a Pfizer vaccine that 5-year-olds taking. There's the AstraZeneca, which most of us took. We have Johnson & Johnson, which is a one jab. My listeners, this is a reality. This virus is here to stay with us for a little while. The numbers of people dying, it's still too high, 11 and so on. We see that we have lockdown. We can't even go to church. Just 100 can go now, and some small churches, whereas you can't even take 100 because of the social distancing. We can't live our lives as we should. And the only thing that's going to be able to get us out of this is the vaccine. So I'm encouraging my listeners, don't listen to all the things that the children and the grandchildren and so on. Look at what is happening around you. Most of us know people who have died. Many of you, as the older people, you need to go back out and get back to life. The children are going back out to school to see what is happening. I'm begging you to take the vaccine. Survey your land, make your wills. Okay, those are the 3 things I'm saying today. Remember, I'll be in Ocherios this Thursday between 10 and 1. Also, you can give me a call in Winchester Business Center. So give me a call, WhatsApp message 387-3183. Thanks to Adrian and thanks to Dervan. And thanks to you, my valued listeners. Looking forward to being with you again next week on Land Solutions. Have a good day.
You contribute directly to Jamaica's national development when you pay your customs duties. Let's all do our part in keeping the wheels of our economy turning. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
This Black Friday, Town City and Home Center has all the best deals for your home and more. Don't miss incredible savings of up to 70% off tiles, faucets, home decor, and more to get your home ready for the holidays. Plus, up to 60% off premium brands like Kohler, Big Fans, and Porcelanosa. Shop and save all week, November 22 to 27 in store or online at tilecityja.com and enjoy lots of prizes and surprises. Tile City and Home Center. Your dream home starts here.
Coming. Christmas coming. Oh, yeah. Christmas is a happy day, yeah. Christmas is the day Christ came. Hey. Where did the angels say?
Indeed, Alton Ellis reminding us Christmas coming. And hello once again to those who celebrate the season. It's just about 32 days away, Christmas Day. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. It's a Monday afternoon, and on the heels of today's edition of Land Solutions, we now turn our attention to science and technology. As we've been telling you all month, this month of November is Science and Technology Month. And I would imagine for the past 20 months, and now in the second November within those 20 months, it certainly would take on even greater significance, because we have seen and we're still seeing and we have experienced and we're still experiencing the science and indeed the technology. When you consider all the meetings that are being held online, events, fundraisers being held virtually, etc., science and technology at work in more ways than one. And it's a good opportunity for us to hear from the executive director of the Scientific Research Council, especially coming just a few days since the SRC's Conversations in Science, the virtual series, the fourth in the series under the theme Men of Science, Leading the Way, Creating a Better World for Our Men and Boys. Good afternoon to the Executive Director of the SRC, Dr. Shara Watson. How are you?
To you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us here on Both Sides of the Story. And we continue to enjoy pleasant memories from last Friday. Very, very well done to you and the team. So now, within the context of the times we're living in and the need for us to do things differently, to pivot, to find new ways of experiencing life in its present form, and also to take the steps necessary in order for us to continue to not just survive, but to thrive. I'm just curious, Dr. Shara Watson, as to the general thinking, the atmosphere within an organization such as the Scientific Research Council, especially at such an august time as this.
Well, Devon, the SRC is an entity that was created with a lot of forethought in it, or foresight rather. And the work that we do, while we try to assist and address current problems, really we try to think in the future, problems that don't already exist, but we can anticipate, similar to what is going on with COVID-19. A COVID-19 scenario is not one that was that we couldn't imagine happening. We knew that there would be new emerging diseases. We knew that there would be new pandemics or more frequent pandemics in a similar case like climate change, and we know that there's going to be severe weather conditions and other issues with how we farm. All of those we can plan for based on what we see happening. So that is the way the SRC tend to think. We try to think in the future in order to ensure that we're in a okay or good enough position to address the problems that are not just present now, but might occur in the future.
What can you tell us then in that regard and along those same lines of some of the practical ways in which the work of the SRC is being manifested?
Right. So one of the examples that I like to use because most persons can understand and appreciate, is with our biotechnology department, where we do plant breeding and implement technologies that can be utilized in addressing our food resource challenges, where we utilize or adapt technologies, whether we're developing them here in Jamaica or adopting from elsewhere in the world, that can help us with our food security, that can help us produce our planting material in a more sustainable and reliable way that we can utilize to address the problem of disease, the problem of production rate, the problem of just having appropriate quantity of planting materials. So the SRC have a very elaborate biotechnology program that really focuses on ensuring that you have input going into the food supply chain from the perspective of having appropriate planting materials that are relevant, that we generally grow here in Jamaica. So we have programs designed for ginger. I always speak about ginger because that is very significant. I think most persons can appreciate the quality and the difference in Jamaican ginger that is very hard to find now, because a lot of the ginger that we're getting, those nice, big, juicy ginger that don't have that much flavor, those are variety coming from other countries. Those are China ginger or ginger coming from Hawaii. While if you get a little piece of the native Jamaican ginger, the potency of that is so significant, and that has international recognition. So if we can implement programs that can secure those kind of planting materials, it will not only be good in terms of food security, but also in terms of inputs into the economy, because they're looking at import substitution as well as products that we can export.
Yes. And with respect to the people you serve, who does the SRC serve?
Well, in broad sense, we serve the entire Jamaica. We are here at your service. But in terms of the clients that will come in to us and access our services, we start from your farmers who would want planting clean, disease-resistant planting materials. So farmers are one of our main clientele. Also, small, medium, and micro manufacturers. We assist all the way from concept right through to production, where we actually have a food production facility, a pilot facility that we do manufacturing of juices, sauces, and different kind of products for various manufacturers. We do production across various lines or categories of products. We also do testing to facilitate trade or movement across borders. You can do your certificate of analysis, otherwise called COA. So we facilitate all of that. Another main area of focus of the SRC is environmental solutions, and more specifically to wastewater treatment solutions. SRC has a wide range of expertise.
Oh yes, I'm just remembering. It's the SRC that created what do you call it? The biodigester.
The biodigester, which is a closed system that uses anaerobic technology. So it's a set it and forget it type system that can actually produce energy that can be utilized and funneled through other areas that can be used for different things. So we actually have a patent on that technology that we are currently doing some improvements on. That we have submitted to JIPO, as a matter of fact.
JIPO, that's the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct.
Yes.
They're one of our partners. We work very closely with them, not just for innovations that the SRC develops, but also to assist our clients, because we do work along with a lot of innovators in the space. A lot of our clients are innovators themselves. We give them a lot of support. And with our partners such as JIPO, Jamaica, and as well as JMEA, Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, JDDC, and several other government agencies, we kind of come together to ensure that when persons engage any one of us, we can give them that full support that they need.
And there's a thinking as well that with respect to the work of the Scientific Research Council, there are some people, I think it was former Prime Minister Bruce Golding, who described Jamaica as a country of samples. I don't think he meant to be disrespectful, but that we come up with these ideas, we create products, we create systems, we create processes, but then for whatever reason it doesn't go beyond the sample stage. From where you sit at SRC, and based on your interactions with small, micro, medium-sized enterprises, even the big ones, what makes the difference between an item remaining a sample as opposed to becoming an item that is not just sampled, but traded, sold, purchased, not just in Jamaica, but the rest of the world? Can you say why that is, where so many remain just samples as opposed to moving to the next level?
Well, the unfortunate thing is that there's a significant amount of truth to that statement. And the reality is we are very innovative, but the challenge that we face is that we don't think all the way through, and we don't necessarily think in long term. We might think in 5-year periods instead of, say, 10, 20, or generation.
Yes.
So one of the main challenges that I have observed, and this comes through with interacting, is your raw material supply chain is critical. So you find that has been one of the main hindrances in allowing manufacturers to grow, or for the business to move from phase 1 to phase 3, or to move through along that natural growth path that businesses ought to have.
Yes.
Is the raw material supply chain is not fully thought out. And when you're not thinking about your raw material supply chain, therefore you're not able to make that big order that you would have went to an expo in Canada, and now you're getting the order for hundreds of thousands of units. You cannot fill it because you never thought beyond 1,000 units.
Yes.
Sorry,
go ahead.
That's a real issue. So that's a real challenge. And then the next one too is the distribution channel.
Mm-hmm.
That one is not fully thought out either. Not having a good enough appreciation for the markets that you want to engage. So most times you find persons really only think about the Jamaican market, but we are just shy of 3 million people. That's a very tiny market, really. And then you look at what our disposable incomes are. Persons don't think about the hundreds of thousands. So we become a sample market, because you will only get those large numbers that really challenge your raw material and your distribution channels if you move outside of Jamaica. And because we haven't figured out how to secure what we need in order to make those orders, you end up only being able to whet the taste buds and give them a sample of what we could potentially do.
Well, let's whet the appetite of the collective appetite of our listeners right now, going forward, in terms of how they can benefit from partnerships, collaborations, generally just being in touch with the Scientific Research Council in keeping with your mandate and their needs. I'll give you an opportunity to do that after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. Did you know that the National Irrigation Commission Limited is the sole authority for irrigation systems in Jamaica? The National Irrigation Commission Limited enables the improvement in agricultural productivity through the provision of efficient and affordable irrigation to farmers and other customers. Contact them 977-6624 or 977-6727, or visit their website www.nicjamaica.com to learn more. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
Call up your BFF for Jamaica's biggest shopping event of the year, Black Friday Frenzy, starting Thursday, November 25 to Tuesday, November 30. Shop safe, follow the COVID-19 protocols, shop local, support our island's businesses, shop longer, enjoy 1 week of huge savings, up to 70% off furniture, household items, TVs, jewelry, toys, clothes, shoes, and so much more. Black Friday Frenzy, starting Thursday, November 25 to Tuesday, November 30. Shop safe, shop local, shop longer. It's presented by the RGR Gleaner Communications Group in partnership with Multilink Jamaica. For details on participating stores, visit bffjamaica.com.
Christmas food to rock steady. Find yourself a Christmas friend, making your Christmas blend, and then, ooh yeah.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. November is Science and Technology Month, and we've been speaking with Dr. Shara Watson, Executive Director of the Scientific Research Council, the SRC. And going to the break, we were asking you, as we get ready to wrap and make way for another of your colleagues, Dr. Watson, the matching of opportunities with needs, and how the SRC has been doing that, and obviously is continuing to do that, so that those who are in need of certain expertise, maybe certain machinery, etc., how you can match some of the opportunities that you offer at the SRC with the needs and potential needs of those in manufacturing, in agro-processing, and other areas within the field of science and technology.
Or capacity. And it feeds back to your earlier question about the sample.
Yes.
So we offer a lot of support to persons who are we do meat processing, we do production of tea material that you use to make your tea bags, those mixed spices, we do beverages, we do canned products, a whole range of products. But again, our facility is a pilot facility which speaks to the capacity. So it's that intermediate phase when you're moving from development of your product to your initial market engagement. That is where we offer the production support in. But in terms of formulation and development, the SRC can assist you with a wide range of products, from food-based products to personal care, topical skincare products, to nutraceutical products that might have some therapeutic potential. We can assist you with that. And of course, I mentioned already, as it relates to our support to the agricultural industry, by providing clean planting materials that you can utilize to set up your growth facilities. One of the areas that we are very big and keen on is looking at Irish potato. Irish potato is a huge market, and all of the Irish seeds that come to Jamaica is being exported, and the grade of seeds that we get is not as high as what we can produce at SRC. So that's an area that we're actually building out and looking to enter into the market in a big way come 2022. So the country can look out for that, where we intend to make a significant dent on that particular import market. But in general, though, the SRC main mandate is to utilize science and technology as a means of translating Jamaica's natural resources into one that can provide economic advantage or support our economy. So the SRC is keen on that. There are research projects that we will conceptualize independently based on what our market surveys and what our situational analysis are telling us. However, we encourage the general public to reach out to us. You're a part of our research team. You are critical to what we're doing. We will only be able to see things through certain lenses at times. And you're there on the ground. You're there observing, which is the first part of science, that observation in the field. So we invite you to call us, to email us, to be involved in the process. If you see an opportunity, if you see a resource that is not being appropriately utilized, that you think the Scientific Research Council could make a difference on,
engage us, be involved with us. We invite all of Jamaica to work with SRC so that we can make science and technology really work for you.
Well put. And as we wrap, Dr. Watson, is there a unit, an office within the SRC, which all of what you just outlined, people with that kind of interest can call through to or communicate with?
Yes, there is. We do have a marketing and corporate communication department in the SRC. You can email us at info@src-jamaica.org or head at src-jamaica.org, or you can call us at 927-177124. 927-177-124.
You give us a lot of hope, Dr. Shara Watson. We remain committed to providing this platform and others on Power 106 FM and within the RGR Gleaner Communications Group to help you not just to get the word out there, but to keep it out there so that there's a level of consistency which should endure to further growth and development in our economy.
And we appreciate it so much. All the best, and we're really happy for the support that we've been getting from you and your group. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of the day.
Same to you. All the best, Dr. Shara Watson. She clearly has the vim, vigor, and vitality as the executive director of the SRC, the kind of energy that is required of an executive director of the Scientific Research Council. And we thank her and her team for their work. And speaking with the team, we have another team member who is joining us right now to give us another angle, another perspective on the SRC. She is the acting manager of Information Services at the Scientific Research Council. Mrs. Marcia Henry, good afternoon to you. Good to talk with you again. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Dervan. Thanks for having me.
Great. Pleasure to have you on board with us. Can you explain the nature and extent of the work done by and being done by the Information Services Division of the Scientific Research Council, the SRC?
Okay, the division looks at popularizing science and technology. We want to take science out of the laboratories and into the marketplace, into the schools, into the communities. So persons who have ideas and they want to start with doing their literature review, they can come to the Science Resource Center at the SRC, which is our library and other resources. We have specialized information that can help persons have an understanding of what the potentials are for our natural ingredients, our plants, So they start at the Science Resource Center to get information on some of the Jamaican herbs and spices, what are the medicinal properties, and so on, or what are the market potential for some of the things that they're interested in. We also have a unit, the Science and Technology Education Unit, that assists in demystifying science in the schools, primary, secondary, tertiary. We provide assistance in helping with understanding the scientific principles that are a challenge. We help in strengthening teachers who may have issues with some of the areas, like in physics, mathematics, some of those challenging areas. We can connect them with our STEM ambassadors who are experts in their field and can help them in understanding the concept, in translating it into a way that the children can understand, help them to in preparing their SBAs and so on. So we have the Science and Technology Education Unit, we have the Science Resource Center, and we also have a publication unit. Our focus is on getting the research information that is in the laboratories that may be at somebody's desk into the public space so that it can inform policy, it can inform the market to know what the opportunities are, what the challenges are, and so we offer this type of information. We have 2 publications. One is peer reviewed, so it's high level experts who will review the scientific papers that are submitted. It's the Jamaica Journal on Science and Technology, and we are asking persons who have information that needs to be published to come to us, and we will assist them in getting the reviews and getting them published. And also we have another one, Discovery, which is less scientific, but again, taking science into the public space. So those are the main areas in the Science Information Services Division.
Yeah, I just got tired listening to all of that in a good way because it's just a lot. It sounds like a lot of work. That's a whole lot of work, and I'm not sure how many people listening to us right now before now had that kind of appreciation for the body of work that is coming out of the SRC. That's extraordinary.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we have motivated staff members who have both the teaching background and the science background, and they are really motivated in communicating science with the children, in helping persons who are not from a science background to get the information that they need.
And I know you mentioned students doing school-based assessments, the SBAs.
Right.
But how early do you actually start interacting with children or exposing children to the features of science and technology? Because I'm thinking, for example, where you are located there in the vicinity of Hope Gardens, of opportunities of taking groups of children, mind you, COVID-19 and all, and protocols and so on, but taking groups, let's say before COVID-19 and now, the extent to which you're able to expose them at an early age, a child who tries to catch a butterfly and the child learns about the butterfly and the beautiful petals of the plants and so on and so forth. I'm just trying to get a sense of how early you start reaching out to the little ones in particular, so they get excited about science and technology at a very early age, which means it then becomes a part of them, and it means we get better grades, better performances in the CSEC subjects as far as the sciences are concerned and at higher levels.
We start from the primary level, Dervan. A couple years ago, there was a homeschool, a family of homeschoolers, 2 families of homeschoolers, and their children were interested in science, but they don't have a microscope. So we were able to facilitate them to come to the SRC and to use a microscope. Our scientists did a cross-section of an onion so that they could see the cells in the onion, and they learned science that day on the spot, hands-on. We have students from prep schools who will come and to have a tour of the different laboratories, the food processing area, and we have a tissue culture. So this is where we apply biotechnology, where we multiply plants in the laboratory.
Hold on, I want to hear some more, and I'm sure our listeners are just as excited as we are to hear of the work being done by the Scientific Research Council, in this instance, in terms of popularizing science and technology. One moment, please.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock. Black Friday Mega Madness. Black Friday Mega Madness. Black Friday Mega Madness. We have never had a sale this big. Get ready, Jamaica. This one is massive. November 29th to December 1. It's the Black Friday Mega Madness weekend at Woman Things. Every single item in store is 30 to 80% off this Friday only. And catch the Saturday and Sunday specials too. The Black Friday Mega Madness weekend is on at Woman Things, Polo Road and Constant Spring Road. It's a Mega Madness weekend.
Better get your rice and peas. The Christmas tree. Because the Christmas tree
Then you know the Christmas here. And then, Christmas coming, coming.
Que ora es en espagnol. Son las 4:01. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:01. 现在地点了10点01分. A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We've been hearing the story of the Scientific Research Council and the body of work being done by the SRC. In this instance, the Information Services Division, which has as its manager acting Mrs. Marcia Henry. Mrs. Henry, sorry, we had to take that break in the middle of your going through and just sharing with us that particular situation with those homeschoolers and getting the was it microscope to check out the features of the onion.
Sí, señor. Yes. So we have school tours. So before COVID, schools could come to the SRC and have tours of the various areas. We assist students who need to do to learn certain concepts at the tertiary level. We also have science summer camps, and we'll be having one in 2022 during the summer. So we have in the past partnered with other companies such as the Bureau of Standards to teach children metrology. We are able to teach them the hands-on, give them the hands-on experience of what science is all about. And we also have, in the past, we had science fairs for primary, secondary, and tertiary students. So they will use the scientific method to show how they can turn a challenge, a problem in their community into something that could be commercialized. So in this next week, actually, this week, Thursday, the 25th, we're having the award ceremony for the Young Inventors, Innovators competition.
I'm getting a feeling right now as you're telling me this. Young inventors. I mean, and innovators. I'm getting that feeling. Please tell us more. Tell us more about this, because this is what we want. It means that our young people are being encouraged to channel their energies, and they have a lot of energy in creating, finding solutions for problems that are all around us. We don't have to wait until they become adults to be able to exercise those impressionable minds of theirs.
And to take what they're learning in the classroom and apply it in a way to show how science can make money.
That's
how
right.
Science can solve problems. So they will look at their communities. Is there a waste problem? Is there an energy problem? What are the problems in the schools, around the schools in which they attend? And they use the scientific principles to come up with ideas that can solve these problems, and then to look at the commercial potential. So the challenge could be what are the needs that the communities have, and how could we use science to address those needs?
And these children, what age group children are we talking here?
Primary and secondary. So in the past, we've had like Seaward Gardens Primary School. They're very innovative. Halfway Primary, very technical. They have won our competitions in the past. And when you were speaking of butterfly, when I was a student at Arden in the 70s, we won the science competition exhibition, and it was a display of butterflies.
Look at that. And you're still in the field. That's wonderful. Well, give us the details now on the competition itself for Thursday, and what to expect.
Well, we had the ideation sessions in October, and then the schools were trained in how to do pitches and so on, how to come up with ideas that can solve the societal
and then to convince the capitalists, those with the money, to fund and to back and to support their innovation.
Right. So they submitted their because of COVID, it will be virtual. So all the schools submitted their videos of their projects, and they are now being shortlisted. And then the top 15 will be pitching their ideas again on video on Thursday. And from there, the winners will be selected, and we'll have the ceremony on Thursday.
Is this open to the public? Can we see it? Can we go online and watch?
Yes, it should. So to get access, you could email steu@src-jamaica.org. So
come again, that's
steu@src-jamaica.org.
Got you. Yes, because I'm sure there are others who are just as excited.
Our call our numbers 876-927-1771 to 4 to get the link so that you can participate.
Right. So give us the proper name for the competition now. So it's the
Young Innovators Competition.
Young Inventors Innovators Competition.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
And so we want to wish those youngsters well. You say you're narrowing it down to about 15 schools?
Right.
And that's a mix of primary and high schools.
Right.
And is there who are the defending champions?
I can't say.
Okay. All right, no problem.
I know that at the primary level, Seaward Garden.
Well, you did mention Seaward, and you mentioned Veer winning in the past.
Yes. And very technical at the secondary level.
Right.
But I don't want to call names and then.
I know. Yes, I get it. I understand. So that's this Thursday. What time does it start?
2 o'clock.
2 p.m. This Thursday, starting at 2. I think. Well, let's see what's happening on Thursday. Let's see what's happening on Thursday.
Yes, it would be good to do another broadcast of it.
It would be good to connect. Yes, it would be good to patch through the happenings. Maybe get the stream and follow. But let's see. Let's see what's possible. But I just don't. I think if we're able to showcase on a broad scale to as many outlets as possible our children, our primary school and high school students innovating, that should serve to inspire other students right here in Jamaica and indeed across the globe. I think that is something worth. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
A couple years ago, when you watch ABC News and their primetime news, they would feature winners like these. And I'm longing to see science become mainstream in our media. So when you have a big winner this Thursday, it would be on TVJ and the other media houses showcasing these children.
Agreed.
And using the opportunity now to speak it.
Absolutely.
Because we really need to bring science into the mainstream. It needs to be a news item.
Because what that does as well, it encourages our children to think, to reason, to figure things out, to work things through, to make the connections. And if we're able to help to harness that kind of thinking, it means they will have less time to create problematic situations as opposed to become the problem solvers.
And it also makes them see that scientists look just like them.
Excellent point.
scientists, there are persons who are solving problems, who are creating things that look just like me.
That's
And
right.
you know, a lot of our boys, they can crack a phone very easily. They can do stuff very easily, and we need to harness that imagination and that potential that they have into positive ways.
We join you in that. We're excited already. We're going to see what is possible behind the scenes. But for the time being, here's an opportunity, since you're in the business of popularizing science and technology, to share with the general public tuned in, but in particular the children, the young people, how they can benefit from the services offered by the Scientific Research Council through your respective units, the Science and Technology Education Unit, for example, and of course the Information Services Division.
Right. So we are on Instagram and Facebook, SRC Jamaica, and they can get more information on those social media.
The social media pages, yes.
Right. But one other thing that I'd love to speak about.
Sure. Go ahead.
So we want to be able to tell the stories and celebrate the successes of our science and technology extraordinaires, female scientists who have created inventions or innovations, who have published papers, who have solved problems in Jamaica and have made a difference. We have a project now called Science and Technology Extraordinaires Jamaica. We want to have a docu-series and a publication on 8 Jamaican women. So if you go to our website now, you would see the flyer there, and you can nominate persons who you know who are trailblazers in their scientific or technological field. Nominate them. They have up to the end of November 30 at midnight, to submit the nominations. And from there, we'll be shortlisting and identifying the top 8 Jamaican female scientists and technologists who we would like to showcase. We want to tell their stories so that they can inspire our young girls to continue in this trail.
Well, you know, we love to tell stories on both sides of the story, and please feel free to feed us with the information. We'll be happy to share some of these stories of our outstanding scientists, female scientists that you're helping to promote right now. So feel free. We're here, as we said. We're happy to provide a platform to play our part in this whole exercise. So in the meantime, just repeat what we need to do. Those of us, we need to nominate.
Right. So go to src.gov.jm and you will see the nomination form for Science and Technology Extraordinaires JA. So it's the Extraordinaires. It has the 2 X's for the female chromosomes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends in NEERS, meaning pioneers.
Excellent.
So we have a play on that word.
Yes.
So Extraordinaires JA, and nominate the women who you know are in the front line now addressing COVID, or they're in the manufacturing sector, making things easier in our production, or they're solving diseases or plant diseases or diseases that persons
finding solutions, essentially problem solvers,
right, using science and technology. If you know women like this, please nominate them. Let us know about them and let us
celebrate them
and inspire our girls.
Excellent. Well said. Well done. You're in the right place at the right time and doing the right things. And we are very, very proud of the work, and we're looking forward to playing our part, as we said. So I look forward to receiving an email or two from you as you keep us updated on these matters. We're out of time right now, but thank you very much, Mrs. Marcia Henry. Well done to you and your team.
Thank you so much for having us. It has been a pleasure, and we really do appreciate the support we're getting.
Anytime. You deserve that and much more. Take care.
So much.
Bye-bye.
Christmas is a happy day, yeah.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:16.
Living in the positive.
Power Talk on Power 106 FM, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk, taking talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale on Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskett from Wednesday to Friday as they provide riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for innovative features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's the powerful pair, Dr. Herbert Gale and Simon Croskill on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays, right here on Power 106 FM.
Christmas coming, oh yeah. Better get your rice and peas. Give me Christmas breeze. Feel the Christmas sweet. Then you know the Christmas here. And then, Christmas coming.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 4:17. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:17. 现在 TDN 了4点17分. 17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now's a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Good afternoon to those of you who have been online with us for some time now. On Facebook Live, we see Olga Hollingshead. Good day to you, Olga Hollingshead. Angela Jones, good afternoon. Olga Hollingshead says, pleasant Monday afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and all your diaspora listening family and friends everywhere. Blessings for a safe and productive week. Peace and love to you too, Olga Hollingshead. Thank you very much. Anthony Davis says, hi, Malcolm. It is full time the Prime Minister motivate the decent public to eliminate all gunmen in any way possible. That sounds like Malcolm X, by any means necessary. Anthony Davis, that's not how it works. Remember, we have to be careful that we don't become those we chastise and those we see as being the bad people. Not sure what you mean by eliminate, but we're still a country of laws, and those of us who administer the affairs and carry out the duties of state, whether they're in the police services or otherwise, are expected to comport themselves with a level of decorum and discipline. Naturally, if one's life is threatened or the life or lives of others are under threat, then one has to try to save lives. And if in that process of trying to save lives, those who were trying to take lives are injured or fatally hit, then it would be sad, because the loss of any life is to be regretted. But we want to hope that we can use appropriate policing measures to keep our people safe, and as a people that we also play our part in that regard. In America, they say, if you see something, say something. Unfortunately, here in Jamaica, the attitude is more like see no evil, hear no evil, right? Or to put it bluntly, see I'm blind, hear I'm deaf. Yeah. Or worse than that, informer for dead. And you realize when you ruminate on those expressions, the implications all around. So, Anthony, thank you for your message, but we are still a country of laws, governed by laws. The rule of law is supposed to take precedence. And even the man with the smoking gun deserves to have his day in court. Even the man with the smoking gun deserves to have his day in court. Because the hope is that we'd learn, how did you get to this point? Why did you do this? What happened? There's a lot to learn in terms of how and the extent to which that learning can help to feed the decision-making process and the management of safety and security in Jamaica. Another time we pick up on that. Let's continue. Martha Laurent in Dominica. Hello to you. Good afternoon. Lorraine Brown, thank you for tuning in. I'm fine, thanks. How are you? Thank you, Lorraine. In St. Anne, I believe, in Claremont, St. Anne. I'm sorry to hear of your loss, Lorraine. Condolences and all the very best. Olga Hollingshead says, Pancreatic Month. Is that Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month in the United States? Olga Hollingshead. Yes, there are so many observances in any given month these days, and it's part of trying to create a greater level of awareness, if even in a blitz form during a particular week or month or year or for a particular day. Velta Wilson in St. Thomas says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and fellow listeners. I hope the day is going well. Give a shout out to my friend Marlene Brown Hyman, who listens to you regularly and has heard you reading my comments. Well, hello to Marlene Brown Hyman. Also, Hyman, hello as well to Kerry Ann of Burger King in Ocho Rios. Kerry Ann of Burger King in Ocho Rios. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for your service. Well done. All the very best. And hello as well to Claudia Brown. Good afternoon. Faye Weller. Good afternoon and blessed love to you too. Jeannie Chambers. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Hello to Golden Brown. Thank you. Jones Dolores says, blessings to you, Dervan and friends, watching from Sacramento, California. Welcome, Jones Dolores in Sacramento, California, which means it's 1:24 p.m. right now in Sacramento, California. You're 3 hours behind us, Jones Dolores in Sacramento, California. Lincoln Pinnock says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Good afternoon to the staff of Power 106 and listeners. Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you, Lincoln Pinnock. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, tells us that he had a well-spent birthday. Happy belated birthday, Ricardo. Inez Iona Campbell says, good afternoon, everyone. Pleasant Monday. Pleasant Monday to you too, Inez Iona Campbell in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Bijou in New York says, good afternoon, Dervan. Have a blessed evening. Blessed time to you too, Bijou. Bijou, we are looking forward to seeing you, Bijou, perhaps in another week or so in New York. And if we, all things being well, if we miss each other on that occasion, then we'll see what happens around the middle of December, when we should have occasion to journey to New York once again. Looking forward to that. Bijou, in the meantime, hello to you and Mr. B and also Jorvillia. Norman Hines in St. Thomas, good afternoon to you. Thanks for tuning in. Leotine Bryan says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan and listeners. To you too, Leotine Bryan. Claudia Gold Hadam says, good afternoon, Dervan and your listeners. Just checking in. Good of you to check in. Good to have you on board. Hope all is well, she says. Claudia is in the Cayman Islands. Welcome, Claudia Gold Hadam in the Cayman Islands. Neriga Smart Morgan 7 says, good afternoon to you all. Just reaching class. Welcome, Neriga Smart Morgan 7. Sophia Nemard is in Newell, St. Elizabeth. Hi, Sophia Nemard and all the others in Newell, St. Elizabeth. Nicola is in not Mandeville, Manchester. Let's just say somewhere in central Jamaica. Good afternoon to you, Nicola, and the family. Angela Forrest says, hi, Dervan. How are you doing? Just tuned in. Thank you very much for tuning in, Angela Forrest. And Anthony Davis, well, in Jamaican parlance, you'd say maybe him get bringle now. So he says, Malcolm, did you say that's not how it works? Well, we can go ahead and continue to pet the gunmen. Yeah, well, we still have to abide by the law. We still have to abide by the law. It's still a country of laws. In the great United States of America, whatever happens, if it's not done the right way, if you breach the law in trying to enforce the law, you have to face the law. If you breach the law, as you said about enforcing the law, you too will have to face the law. It's just a fact of life in a civilized society, Anthony. But we thank you very much for your message. Thank you. And we wish you all the best. Sophia Nemard says, be careful we don't become like those we send the message to, which is what we always say on this program. Be careful that we don't become the people we chastise and despise. Be careful we don't become somebody else's slave, somebody else's puppet. Hello. Sophia Nemard, thank you very much for that timely reminder. Margaret Williams says, good afternoon, Dervan. Mom and myself took the vaccine and I applied for the grant for both of us in March and May, and now it's almost the end of November, and we not get the $10,000 grant as yet. Me want know wagwan, exclaims Margaret Williams. Margaret, there is what's the name of that? What's that line? Can I humbly suggest that you go to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service website, Ministry of Finance. Just Google Ministry of Finance. You should see a link to the We Care program. We Care. You can Google We Care as well and follow the instructions from there. Let us know how it goes. Sorry to hear of your plight, though. Having done your part, surely you should then be rewarded, right? Try that route and let us know how it unfolds. Go to the Finance Ministry's website and look for the We Care link, or just Google We Care Jamaica and see what you get and how far you're able to take your concern. Thank you for sharing the message. Again, sorry to hear of your situation. Please follow up and let us know, having done what we suggested, the outcome. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. The Scientific Research Council invites you to nominate Jamaican female scientists and technologists as they showcase their scientific achievements and contribution to Jamaica's development in the S&T Extraordinaires JA docuseries and publication. Visit their website src.gov.jm. Click on the flyer, then complete the nomination form. Nominations close on Friday, November 30 at 11:59 p.m. SRC's Extraordinaires, celebrating success, inspiring our future.
The craziest sale of the year is now on at ENR Hardware from November 22 to 27. Enjoy extra special discount on BH flat emulsion paint on the gallon until December 31. Make no mistake, ENR Hardware is your place to shop for the best prices, friendliest professional service, and comfortable shopping. ENR Hardware, Lot 16 to 17, Portmore Town Center, 876-988-7485-6. Hurry, hurry, hurry!
It's that time of the year again. Show off your culinary skills with the help of the Gleaner's Christmas Cookbook. Indulge in authentic Jamaican recipes and wow your guests. Purchase the Gleaner from your vendor or sales outlet on December 9, 2021 to get your copy. The Gleaner, where life unfolds.
And then, Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming. Oh, Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Christmas is a happy day, yeah. Christmas is the day Christ came, hey. Where did the angels say, hey. Then you know the Christmas here, and then, ooh yeah. Oh, Christmas coming, coming. Ooh yeah. Christmas coming.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 5:27. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5h-27. Tsietse, Tidian le, Wu Dien, Cha Ar Shur Chi Fen. 27 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Hello to Alexandra Taylor. She says, Toronto, Canada, present freezing here. Ouch. Stay warm, Alexandra. Stay warm. Margaret Williams says, I tried both ends and that's a dead end. No response in reference to the $10,000 grant. We just got a call off air, by the way, from Vanny, who says she got her $10,000 grant. And there are others, because we have shared on this program. It took a while for a few weeks. We were trying to, because we were helping a senior citizen to access the grant, and eventually the funds came through. So we're not sure. Vanny is suggesting that sometimes it's a matter of procedure in terms of whether all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. That would determine whether your payment is processed. But I'm not sure if the ministry had set up some temporary call-in facility or call center or contact point, and whether that contact point is still up and running. If it is, then perhaps an announcement or a press release to say whether that is closed off now, and whether there are those who are entitled, rightfully so, to that $10,000 grant, who perhaps are being hindered from receiving said grant due to some procedural error in filling out form or something, would love to hear who's in charge of PR at the Ministry of Finance these days. Last time we checked, which was a long time ago, not sure if she's still there, Elaine Oxamendi. Not sure who is in charge or who does PR at Finance Ministry now. Not sure. Not sure. Well, they usually send out these press releases. Let's see if we find one of those press releases to see who is in charge of here we go. Let's bring this one up. The most recent one, the 9th of November. And this is from, it just says, from the Corporate Communication and Public Relations Branch of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. And in terms of contact, Shelly Ann Weeks is the Director of Corporate Communication and Public Relations Branch. Shelly Ann Weeks, Director, Corporate Communication and Public Relations Branch. Well, not sure what time they close on a Monday or how late they go to on a Monday at the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. But let's see if we can get a hold of Shelly Ann Weeks in the Director of Corporate Communication and Public Relations Branch of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. Let's try making a call in the next break. How about that? Yeah, we like to make these calls ourselves, just to, at least in the first instance. And so, Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, Shelly Ann Weeks, we're going to call the ministry in another few minutes. See if you can give us an update, whether off air or on air, or direct our attention to your website where the relevant or requisite information is. Whatever, we just want to know. On behalf of Margaret Williams, who tells us she has tried both ends, and this particular end we suggested, or the ends we suggested, she says that's a dead end, no response. Well, we'll find out in a few minutes, assuming they go beyond 4:30 in the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. In the meantime, good afternoon to Dr. Renee Zazu Williamson, who is greeting us from London. Good afternoon. He is anxious to tell us about Trenchtown Rock Concert, which is coming up. He has been promoting it big time. We just clicked on your link, Dr. Zazu. And so it says Trenchtown Rocks Concert, which is an Americanism. The use of the word rocks, Trenchtown Rocks. It means Trenchtown is it. Trenchtown is wonderful. Trenchtown is great. Trenchtown is exciting. So you're being invited to get your VIP tickets now. Experience the best of Trenchtown Rocks from privileged seats. Only 200 of those available. And there's the option to buy tickets. So you can Google Trenchtown Rocks Concert and learn more. Trenchtown, of course, is the home community of the most well-known Jamaican globally, Bob Marley, known worldwide as the, I'm not sure, would he hug up the title of grandfather of reggae? I'm not sure, but they call him the Gong, among other things, but referred to here as the grandfather of reggae, who has forever placed Jamaica on the map. Even 30 plus years after his death, he's still able to influence Trenchtown and Jamaica. And for those who have listened to this program over the years, you know how many times we have talked about the value of a place like Trenchtown in Jamaica. and how the wealth of reggae music pioneers produced by this community could inure to could make Trenchtown perhaps the wealthiest place in Jamaica. But no, but hardly anybody has taken that up at all. It's just bits and pieces, a little tour every now and then. And you see Georgie gone now. Georgie, who used to cook cornmeal porridge, as Bob Marley tells us in No Woman No Cry. Georgie should be an icon in terms of a staple of being there at that spot where he would cook the cornmeal porridge, to have busloads of tourists lining up while No Woman No Cry is being played on the sound system in the area. And I remember when we used to sit in a government yard in Trenchtown, and Georgie would make the firelight or something like that, and logwood burning through the night, and cornmeal porridge and so on. It's an experience. You hear about it in the song by Bob Marley. That's an experience. In any other country with a greater vision, any other country, that is, as we say in Jamaica, that's sell-off. But go and check Trenchtown right now. The houses are falling apart in some of these some of the sectors of the community, sections of the community. And all some people want to do is just badness, badness, badness. There is a lot of money to be made, and the people of Trenchtown know this because they have been doing short-term rentals in Trenchtown. Before COVID-19, Trenchtown was actually swinging in terms of short-term rentals. If that doesn't ring a bell, think Airbnb. People were staying with families in Trenchtown on their visits to Jamaica instead of going to a hotel. So they know of the value, but surely we can do better than this. Maybe the backing of the opposition leader, whose pockets are very deep. Maybe some of those funds, or for him to get investors. He's a banker, to enlist the support of bankers, financiers, social development people. Get some real work. Get some work going in transforming Trenchtown to what it used to be. And just watch it become a catalyst for similar development right across. I mean, look at Maypen Cemetery. There are so many outstanding Jamaicans who are buried in Maypen Cemetery, and the place is permanently overgrown and bush everywhere, and people use it to dump everything, including bodies and that kind of thing. We are sitting on a gold mine and we don't even know it. And we've been sitting on it, not just Trenchtown. We could talk about Port Royal. By now, we should have undersea tours of Port Royal, and we see the old city, so to speak, the wreckage and so on. Whoa. Instead, a lot of the time, more often than not, we're majoring in the minor or looking beyond, looking away from where the opportunities are. It's under our collective nose, under our nose. One moment, please.
We're gonna Christmas food to rock day. Find yourself a Christmas friend, making your Christmas blend.
You're listening to Pearl 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
Christmas coming, oh yeah. Better get the rice and peas. Christmas breeze, you know the Christmas sweet, they know the Christmas cheer, and And then, Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming. Oh, Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Christmas is a happy day, yeah. Christmas is the day Christ came, hey. The angels say, hey. They know the Christmas here, and then, ooh, yeah. Oh, Christmas coming, coming. Ooh, yeah. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Food and booze ready. On the Christmas shoes to rock steady. Let's have a Christmas bread, making the Christmas blend, and then, ooh, yeah. Christmas coming, oh yeah. Better get the rice and peas, the Christmas breeze, you know the Christmas tree, they know the Christmas here, and then, ooh, yeah. Christmas coming, coming, Christmas coming. Oh, Christmas coming, coming. Christmas coming, oh yeah.
¿Qué hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 12. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5 heures moins 12. 现在几点了？5点cha sure are fen. 12 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Well, we just put through a call to the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, and our information is that the $10,000 grant for 65 and older, those 65 and older, who take the COVID-19 vaccine, that is still on. It's still happening. First of all, it is still happening. And secondly, I've been given two sources of information on the subject. You can call, and for this one, we'll have to look at the keypad because it is 888, the number 4, We Care. 888-4 We Care. And the We Care in numbers is, well, the W would be 9, the E would be 3, and the C would be 2, The A is also 2. The R is number 7. And the E, the second E, is 3, the number 3. So the number to call to learn more about the We Care program, 888 493 2273. 888 493 2273. There's also a website which is wecare.gov.jm. wecare.gov.jm. That's our information from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, Margaret Williams. That's our information. And so we see your message. I would love you to call and find out what I go on. I appreciate this very much on behalf of my mom and all 65 and over who applied and did not get as yet. Well, those are the sources of the points of contact that we just shared. Margaret Williams, we hope you got the information, and we wish you and your mom and all the other 65 and over people all the very best. KR says good afternoon to you too, KR. This is on YouTube now. Lorna, Launa. Lorna Brown says, Mr. Malcolm, you're an inspiration. Please keep up the good work. Blessing to you, sir. You're very kind. Thank you, Lorna Brown. Straight Shooter says, good day. When a leader continually breaks his word, then it shows him to be untrustworthy. A leader who is without integrity should cease to lead. Thanks for your message, Straight Shooter. Beresford Henriquez asks, why are the biodigesters not being deployed more widely, in reference to our conversation earlier on with Dr. Shara Watson, the Executive Director of the SRC. Beresford asking, why are the biodigesters not being deployed more widely? This could save our groundwater while providing gas for energy, as well as good organic fertilizer. Straight Shooter says they used to have biodigesters at the Elim Agricultural School that used to provide gas, but I do not know if they still exist. Natalie Winter in Washington Gardens says, hi, good evening all, pleasant viewing. Anything that has to do with agriculture is looked down upon. Sounds like, well, yeah. People look down on agriculture at their own peril. Natalie says, so it's a good idea to highlight the importance of the sector. Natalie says, hi, gunman and badman can only be eliminated when injustice stops in the country. Carol Williams is greeting us from New York. Hi, Carol Williams. Hopefully our paths will cross, all things being well, in New York. Carol says, quote for today, don't be afraid to start over. This time, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, from the Mind's Journal. Thanks for sharing, Carol. Andrew McPherson says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm, from Andrew McPherson. Welcome, Andrew McPherson. Natalie Winter in Washington Gardens says, Carol, it's more easily said than done. Injustice is a hard thing to get over. Sorry to say there are people in society who don't want citizens to progress, so it benefits them to keep areas of South St. Andrew in a poor state. Let's look at some of the pay packages and the salaries earned. Jesus, them wicked. Goodbye and good luck. Stay safe. Keep your family and friends close to you, close to your heart. Oh, love all. Good night. Well, all the best to you, Natalie Winter in Washington Gardens. We haven't cleared all the messages yet, have we? No. Oh dear, 91 messages on the WhatsApp line. Where do we start? Where do we start? Oh boy. All right, we have related and unrelated. And because we have been busy on the road, we have a pileup of messages. All right, let's see if we can start clearing. Oh boy, where to begin? Bev and Walden, hello to you. Good to know you got the message. Good to know you got the message. Angelia Christian in London, we haven't forgotten that duty you have asked us to perform. Haven't forgotten you at all. And oh, this is from this looks like a familiar face. This is, he hasn't been in touch with us in a little while though. Robert Bob Ritchie. It's good to see you. Robert Bob Ritchie from he's a member of the St. Thomas Renaissance Foundation. He is it Minnesota, Minneapolis, I believe. And let's see what he's saying here before we wrap. And these messages will have to be carried over to tomorrow. Goodness. He says, good morning, Brother Dervan. I trust all's well. I have a topic idea for you, which I hope you will revisit. Customer service in Jamaica, especially with our bigger and dominant companies. As example, it took me over 4 months and 30 phone calls to get internet, phone, landline, and mobile and TV services bundled by Flow. Well, clearly, based on what you're saying, they have been bundling that whole process. For my mother recently, he says, we finally got the service, but now we have a big challenge with their customer service when trying to contact them concerning billing or the intermittent internet and TV utilities they offer. When you call the customer service number and follow all of the prompts as instructed, your call always ends up being hung up. And of course, their billing and expectation of being paid on time is never late to land in your mailbox. It's so frustrating being unable to speak to someone to address your needs as a loyal customer. I'm sure Flow isn't the only company that has these poor customer service practices. But as customers and consumers of goods and services from all of these companies, the Jamaican people deserve better. And may I add, the double standard of how these companies treat rural customers versus customers residing in Kingston is another issue. Last time I checked, rural residents' money has the same value as those living in towns. So why are rural residents, or in town, as in the corporate area, so why are rural residents treated with lower customer service standards? I hope you will give this serious thought. Thank you, as always, for all you continue to do to help Jamaica. Thanks, Bob Ritchie. You see, this is why we have been saying to the telecoms companies for years, we love the Jamaican women, wonderful, wonderful human beings, but the money that you continue to spend on the dancing girls, would be better spent on shoring up your customer service, would be better spent on shoring up your network. The money would be better spent. Because after that, the dancing girls wouldn't need any prompting from you to dance. By virtue of providing quality customer service, they'll be dancing even when there's no music. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Monday, the 22nd of November, 2021. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Good afternoon, I am Dervan Gordon. Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines, today, Monday, November 22, 2021. 2 men killed in corporate area gas station. 3 policemen and 2 civilians hospitalized after they were hit by a car on the Sheffield Main Road in Westmoreland. Home Circuit Court told that at least 2 JCF members were involved in the Wandon Gang's gun transactions. PAAC to examine irregularities in the award of contracts at Clarendon Alumina Production. In business news, Bank of Jamaica says it has pumped more than $600 million into the foreign exchange market since the start of the year.